Today I want to talk to you about the pelvic core ball. This is a very simple piece of equipment that can change people's lives. It's a small inflatable ball that fits in between your knees with an elastic strap that goes around to the outside. And we sourced this from a group of pelvic floor physiotherapists in the States. And at the moment, to our knowledge, we're the only ones in Western Canada currently with this product. And what we like about it is its simplicity. It straps between the knees and you can perform some functional exercises that help restore movement to your hips, knees, ankles, lower back and even up into your mid-back. Depending on what you're doing with your arms, you can even use the pelvic core ball to rehabilitate shoulders. The reason we call it the pelvic core ball is even though it can help with the pelvic floor problems, it can help with the pelvic core. And the core is defined as the diaphragm, the abdominal wall, the lower back and the pelvic floor. In fact, it makes a unit or even a cylinder around from here. With functional exercises and the pelvic core ball, you can help restore lower back pain, abdominal problems, hip pain, and of course pelvic floor problems. And this isn't just for what we typically think of the pelvic floor problem. Possibly some incontinence after childbirth is a very common example. But this actually can be used for lower back pain and for anything to do with a problem in the pelvic core. What I want to show you right now are some different exercises with, as truly as the model, for showing you how to use the pelvic core ball to create the chain reaction going up through the whole body. You'll notice in some of them that I'm using weights and different types of weights, and they can be used to really enhance the reaction through the hips. Before we get to the exercises, I just want to show you how to put the pelvic core ball on. Take the pelvic core ball and you place it in between your knees. It can be done standing up, but this is easier just done standing down or sitting down. You take the band, you put it around the outside, and there's some Velcro here that holds that in place. And there's another strap that goes over the top of the ball, and then the ball is securely tied in between my knees. What that means is if I pull my legs apart like this, I get the resistance from the strap on the outside and the ball stays in place. And when I pull my knees together, the ball stays in place as well. I just want to remind you why you would use this, use the pelvic core ball. The pelvic core ball is going to enhance any exercises you do to influence your pelvic floor. But we also call that the pelvic floor being the pelvic floor, sorry, the pelvic core being the pelvic floor, abdominals, lower back and diaphragm. So the exercises you're going to see tie in a chain reaction from my feet up to my knees and hips, right up into my shoulders, and they create just a better functional movement or a better coordination between all the muscles of the pelvic core. Okay, so here I'm just lightly bouncing, getting a chain reaction up through the ankles, knees and hips to start stimulating my pelvic floor. And here we're just moving in a transverse plane motion with some hand weights. And this is really good to get the abdominals and the oblique muscles involved. With a wider stance, it's going to change the input from the adductors and also stress the pelvic floor slightly differently. Here we're using the arms just to create a different reaction in the frontal plane that's going from side to side and getting the muscles on the outside of the hips really working well. That changes quite nicely into transverse plane movement and getting the abdominals linking into the adductors, which are the muscles on the inside of the hips, squeezing the ball slightly together with my knees. Here just doing some small squats with hand weights, getting the shoulders and the back and the glutes involved. Bringing in movement into the transverse plane, getting the abdominals working nicely. Okay, with stepping, the resistance to the band is actually going to make it harder for my hips to move, so it's really using the outside muscles of the hips. And then as it brings in, it uses the inside muscles. The hand weights here as well are going to create an extra stress to the lower back. Moving in the frontal plane, it's a similar movement with the hands going down towards the knee, utilizing the biceps, shoulders, and again the hamstrings and the glutes to slow down the weight so they go down towards the knee. Lastly, in the transverse plane, same sort of thing. Weights are going from shoulder height down to knee height, really opening up that pelvic floor, pelvic core, getting the abdominals involved, bringing the hands above the head. And actually you find that after you do this, you actually feel it as though you've been doing sit-ups. This is a great way to train the abdominals. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction to the pelvic core ball. The limitation of use is really your imagination. There are so many different things you can do with this and so many different ways you can get it to affect your body, especially that pelvic core. As always, drop us an email if you want any more information, and details are to follow. Bye-bye.